This is the Asus ZenFone 3 Laser. The Asus ZenFone 3 Laser is yet another budget-oriented smartphone that's looking to make a dent in that sub-$200 price range. Now for just $199 completely unlocked, the Asus ZenFone 3 Laser is offering an all-aluminum build, 5.5-inch 1080p Full HD display, laser-assisted autofocus system, and a ton more. Now for $199, is this the new $200 smartphone to get, or are you still better off with something along the lines of the Moto G4? My name's Joe Marion with PhoneArena, and this is our full review of the Asus ZenFone 3 Laser. Right off the bat, the first thing you'll notice about the ZenFone 3 Laser has to do with its construction. Asus ditched the plastic design that was present with 2015's ZenFone 2 series and made the switch to a unibody aluminum one. The upgraded materials is fantastic, as the aluminum not only feels sturdy and premium, but also feels cool and smooth to the touch. The rounded corners add a nice sense of refinement here, and the ZenFone 3 Laser's weight of 150 grams and width of just 7.9 millimeters mean that the phone is both lightweight and trim as well. Taking a look at the body of the ZenFone 3 Laser, you'll find a 3.5mm headphone jack on the top, power button and volume rocker on the right hand side, and a SIM tray on the left that supports either two separate SIM cards or one SIM card and a microSD card to expand on the included 32GB of onboard storage. The bottom side of the ZenFone 3 Laser is home to your charging port and speaker grill, but this is where we have a couple of problems with the phone. The charging port is of the micro USB nature, meaning that you don't have the same speed and versatility of USB Type-C. This omission is somewhat common in budget smartphones right now, but using micro USB in 2017 can't help but feel like a feature of yesteryear. As for the speaker grill, the unit that Asus decided to use here isn't very pleasing to the ear. Volume output airs on the lower end of the spectrum, and cranking up to higher volume settings will quickly deteriorate whatever audio you happen to be listening to. Moving to the front of the ZenFone 3 Laser is where you'll find the handset's display and navigation buttons. The navigation buttons are of the capacitive nature, and while they work perfectly fine, the lack of backlighting means that they're pretty much impossible to see while using the ZenFone 3 Laser in a darker environment. I'm guessing that the lack of backlighting helped Asus keep costs down with the Laser, but it's an omission that can prove to be very annoying at times. Speaking of that display, we're looking at a screen that measures in at 5.5 inches. An IPS LCD panel is present here, along with a resolution of 1920 by 1080. Overall, the display looks really nice. Colors are vibrant, whites are very stark, viewing angles are solid, and the brightness levels are more than adequate for all situations. There's definitely less clarity here as opposed to a Quad HD panel, but considering the price of the ZenFone 3 Laser, I really don't have any complaints with the panel that's being used. While interacting with that display, you'll be using Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow with Asus's custom interface layered over it. Asus's skin won't win any awards for its looks, but it's functional and doesn't bog down the user experience. I'm not a fan of the aesthetic choices that Asus has added, but additions such as the extremely customizable home screen launcher and various motion and touch gestures are nice to have if you're someone who likes to play around with those sort of things. Performance as a whole is passable, and although the ZenFone 3 Laser certainly isn't the fastest smartphone around, it should get the job done for most people. A Snapdragon 625 processor and 2GB of RAM keep the ZenFone chugging along, and this processing package proved to be more than adequate for checking social media, using Google Chrome, and even playing games such as Asphalt 8. Now with that said, I did notice apps frequently closing and restarting when running multiple applications at the same time. Now this is likely due to the low amount of RAM that's present on the phone, and while this does contribute to some slower load times while opening applications, it's not really enough to detract from the overall experience while using the ZenFone 3 Laser. The laser moniker of the ZenFone 3 Laser's name hints at the device's laser-assisted autofocus system that's present with a primary camera, and this setup creates for very snappy focus times while capturing both still images and live video. It isn't the fastest system you can find, but for a phone at this price point, it's a very welcome addition for sure. The ZenFone 3 Laser features a 13MP camera on the back and an 8MP shooter up front. Images from both cameras look good, but the biggest issue definitely has to do in shooting in low light scenarios. Images taken outdoors with ample lighting can turn out looking very well composed, but this factor starts to dissipate quickly the lower the lights get turned down. The video side of things exhibits the same pros and cons, but it does a fine job at finding focus points quickly and evening out highlights. A 3000 mAh battery is found inside the ZenFone 3 laser, and the battery endurance I was able to get out of this handset proved to be extremely impressive. With usage consisting of checking multiple email accounts, going through social media throughout the day, listening to music through a pair of Bluetooth headphones, and streaming full HD video on YouTube, I was able to get around a day and a half of use on the ZenFone 3 laser. My screen on time also averaged out around 5 hours or so with this kind of usage, but as awesome as all of this is, charge times for the phone proved to be quite lengthy. The ZenFone 3 laser takes 3 hours and 25 minutes to charge from 0 to 100%, and recharge times of this length can prove to be quite treacherous if you've ever used any form of fast charging in the past. To wrap all of this up, where does that leave us with the Asus ZenFone 3 laser? As a whole, Asus did a commendable job at packing in a lot of smartphone into something that costs less than a third of today's premium flagships. The design of the laser might be a bit commonplace, but the high-end materials being used for the phone's construction do a great job at mimicking the look and feel of a much more expensive product. Along with a solid build, the laser also delivers a great looking screen, fairly snappy processor, a fast autofocus system, and phenomenal battery life. The phone does fall a bit flat due to its weaker software skin, low quality speaker, and slow recharge times, but those issues aside, the ZenFone 3 laser has quite a lot of good to offer. Now you can of course make the argument all day long that you can spend an additional $30, $50, or even $100 for a slightly better smartphone all around. However, when it comes down to it, the Asus ZenFone 3 laser is one of the best ways you can spend $199 on a brand new smartphone right now. If you have any additional questions about the ZenFone 3 laser that I didn't answer in this video review, be sure to check out either the full review on the PhoneArena website, which is linked in the description below, or ask your questions down in the comments below, and I will do my best to get those answered as soon as I possibly can. For more videos like this, be sure to go ahead and click the like button and the subscribe button as well, and for all the latest tech news, reviews, deals, and more, be sure to check out our website at PhoneArena.com. With that said, I've been Joe Marian with PhoneArena. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.